energy and information. That's what we are about. We're constantly receiving information in the form of energy. When somebody says something, it's sound energy. If somebody touches you, it's the physical energy. Somebody is writing or showing you a picture, you receive energy through the picture. We are constantly touched, bombarded, I would say, by different sources of energy. But at the same time, we have our own energy. So let's look into our energy, how it operates, and what we can do about it, how we can make ourselves more resourceful and less drained by the bombardment of the energy which we receive as information.
Yes, and here you can see all these kind of interesting colors, red, blue, green, and for those who are with us on Zoom, and you can see all these kind of little details. And let me start talking from the bottom left when our Kundalini is in dormant status.
Well,
and
let's talk about Kundalini first, because maybe some people have no idea what Kundalini is. If you look at this colorful picture of our chakras, chakra comes from the Hindu system, but truthfully, we have physiological system of organs intercepting everywhere, the nervous system intercepting, everything is moving through certain pathways in the body. And where those pathways intercept, the energy center is located. This energy center is nothing more than that different nervous endings are connecting to each other and exchanging information as energy. So if something's blocked, for example, you're slouching, or for example, your neck is like this when you're looking at the phone, at that moment, the interception of the energy happens in the wrong space, and it gets blocked. Because the idea of intersection, if you look at the highway, is not to be blocked where every car comes from different directions, but actually have a really great direction. So the direction of our energy is the spine. It goes from the bottom all the way up, and as it goes through the spine, everything has to be open, so the energy goes up. That's why when we sit with the idea that we have a throne, inner throne, and we are kings and queens of this universe, our own universe, and then the energy at least has a pathway up. But we also need a motor. We need to move this energy. For example, lymphatic system doesn't have any motor. So when we start moving, we start pumping lymphatic system. Now our body energy is being cleaned. So the Kundalini is the energy of uprising dragon, the fire within our body, the passion to do something, to communicate, to work. And when we start walking, for example, 7 kilometers or 10,000 steps, now the energy of Kundalini, the sleeping dragon, starts moving, and now we can talk about subjective reality, when the Kundalini is moving into the next level. But let's look what happens when we don't walk, when we don't move, when we don't breathe properly.
Yeah, and if you remember the Pareto model, 80 and towards like versus 20s, 80% unhappy, unsuccessful people who live in very difficult situation. And this situation, we're talking about subjective reality. They live fully in their subjective reality. They cannot live in today's situation and not today's moment. And there's a lot of books talking about live in the moment. How? I tried for many, many years. And one day I realized when you raise your energy and you can have this opportunity to see a bit higher, to see a little bit farther than you used to. And that's why it's very important to understand these little things. When you raise your energy using your body, it means you have a chance. You're going to take it or not. This is the second question, but you have a chance to improve your life, to improve your quality of your life. Because if you don't raise your energy, every time you look back at your past and you blame something, you blame somebody because you really wanted to do something better. At the same time, you look for tomorrow and you're scared because you're not sure what's going to be tomorrow. And that's why your life at this moment becomes like very, like not easy, tough. And that's why understanding this, using this technique, how to raise the energy in different way. And Svetlana was just talking about like walking. We can also dance, we can swim, we can use all these kind of techniques in order to raise our energy up using our body as a closest friend. Yes, Svetlana?
Yes, absolutely. And the important part of this whole discussion is why even look back. We're not doing it consciously. We're doing it because our mind has two functions. One is to analyze what we already have, and one is to create ideas and pictures for us to look forward to. And so when the energy is little, the mind tries to avoid extra activity because mind takes 90% of the energy of the body to work. That's why if you're communicating with somebody or you're teaching somebody or you're doing something when your brain is fully engaged, after that you want to go and eat a lot. That means that you did not receive enough exchange. When you are talking with somebody who can receive and also give you stimulating ideas, you work less because now you're sharing that, you're exchanging energy and information. When somebody gives you information, for example, through webinar, blah, 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 it could be very interesting and very stimulating, but there is no exchange when you are not giving anything back to receive information all the time or to give information all the time without having those breaks in between will exhaust you. So our mind, it has to do both. It has to analyze what it gets, and it has to create different ideas and thoughts to exchange. When this is broken, you go to analytical mind because this is the easiest way. People think analysis is hard. Analysis that we do is prevent crisis from happening might be hard, not for us, but maybe for some people who get into crisis. Analysis that are structured, that look at all the competencies, all the team members, all the structures of the business and all the situations through which business is moving and all the products, we can analyze and do a complex analysis, not only about business, of course, but also about your life, the team at work, but also the team at home, and what you eat and how you sleep and where your house is positioned, and all of that goes into analysis. But regular analysis that the people usually do is going back, criticizing yourself for what you didn't do right from the position of today. But at the time, you didn't know what's right and wrong. Only once you go through the experience, you know. So your mind is one thing. The knowledge that you have is a different thing. Experience is a different thing. And skills is a different thing. So when we analyze, we only analyze information, the knowledge that we receive, or only we analyze experience. When you start moving in any way, shape, or form, or exchanging, because exchange is also movement. Even when you talk, it's also movement of your apparatus. What happens, you start integrating emotions and knowledge and experience and all your skills. And at this point, your energy starts moving. And it starts moving in a more ecological way where structural mind, analytical mind, and your creative mind are working together. Without that, only analytical mind works because it's very easy. Not that it delivers you good analytic, it's just easier for your mind to work this way. And if you are not looking back, automatically you're looking for the future. But again, how? Oh my God, what if happens? What if this happens? If this happens, and how I'm gonna survive all of that? This is not analytical mind. When you work with analytical mind, you know that if you plan something and you work towards something, you cannot guarantee that the result will be what you expect, but at least you can guarantee that you are moving into a direction where the result is even possible. So both of these situations in a subjective reality are separate. Oh my God, what happened? And how terrible what happened. So we want to live this reality because this is the survival mode, the first chakra, and reproductive mode. Who's gonna protect me? Who's gonna give me money? And then maybe third chakra for some people. And I know how to make those money. It's not everybody even in third chakra. But this subjective reality is down there. It's not moving up enough to give you a perspective on objective reality, which is reality with other people. What this reality with other people can show us.
Yeah, and this stage in objective reality, when we start raising our energy, we have this kind of awakening Kundalini. Yeah, it could be like raising up, falling down, but at the same time you started like working on yourself. Yeah, slowly, slowly, slowly. And I've been walking for 6 years already. Every day I walk minimum 8,000-10,000 steps, and you can see the difference right away. Because at the beginning, when you start like walking, you really start thinking, why am I walking? What do I need to walk? But every day when you walk, you realize that something interesting, magical is going on inside of your body. You really can see other things like on up higher level. And when we raise our energy constantly, it means we can feel this kind of moment today, let's say. Yeah, we can live in the moment, managing our thoughts and emotions. And with Svetlana, we're professional in our subjective reality. When you come to our private sessions, we can show you 100% your subjective reality. And this is a great opportunity to build a bridge to the objective reality and help you to go from subjective reality to objective reality, where you can get better results, where you can analyze your results. And at this stage, when you can live at the moment and not to be scared, it's very like great feelings. At the same time, you still can look at the back and live through emotion, through thoughts, but they don't bother anymore. You can take as a experience from there. And all the time when I'm talking with my clients, I tell them, guys, if you really want to look back, look only for something good, positive stuff, because we don't remember this. But of course, 100% you remember about something that didn't happen in very good way. And at the same time, when we raise your energy looking to tomorrow part, you're not scary anymore because you're using your analytical ability to analyze things. But when we're talking analyzing things, this is not like at engineer stuff. Okay, I need to see, to analyze, I really don't know. No, we have incredible tools in order to help you to analyze things, your situations, that you can create a great approach, the right approach, how to react to these situations. And that's why raising your energy, understanding all these kind of little things, and start using them on a daily basic is going to help you to start living your life in completely different position. You're going to be at the same apartment. You can be at the same country, but your mood is going to be much, much better.
Right. And how do we even go from this subjective reality to objective reality? In objective reality, we meet objects. First object is your body. So you have to feel it. And when you are in panic, for example, when you are starting this trip, oh my God, what's going to happen? You can bring yourself back, hug yourself, take a breath, touch your nose. I'm here. Where is the ceiling? Where is the earth under my feet? So situate yourself in this reality and where the object exists. The desk. This is my computer. Okay, I'm okay. The war is happening somewhere else. That's terrible. But right here, I'm okay. What can I do better? That's number one. Secondly, there are other objects, other people. You are a king of your own universe, unless you don't want to be a king, that's fine. But I prefer to see myself as a queen in my universe. And other people are my subjects and objects that they create. We co-create. And the result of this creation and co-creation, I can also see, because those are the objects. And when we understand that everything in this reality is my doing, I am responsible for having the attraction field, the state that brings these people into my reality. When I understand that somebody is screaming crazy, not because that person is crazy, but because I've invited them to cooperate in creating this situation, then we have the power. In the objective reality, we have energy that could be used consciously and with the purpose. In subjective reality, the purpose is to survive, first three chakras. In the reality of the heart, because we relate through communication, through talking, through loving somebody or hating somebody, then don't communicate, be neutral. If you cannot be neutral, don't be with this person, don't trigger yourself and that person to create a reality you don't want to create. But when you talk to people, you open your heart and you work and connect with people that you like. If you don't like them, don't go to this work, find another work. Because people complain a lot and they believe that is the objective reality. But that's true. Yes, it's true for you because you've chosen that place or this person or this object to communicate with. And you can change that. That is available to you when you are understanding objective reality. Objective reality is what you see, is the result of all your choices, combined choices, and the wisdom of the experience that you've had before. So your knowledge, your experience, your skills, everything you went through is now in your body. Now you're positioned in a different place than before. Instead of looking how wonderful it was in the past or how terrible it was, you're looking into and how it is now by looking in the mirror of your surrounding, because that's what you've created. And then if you keep creating that same reality, but you're thinking maybe it will end up differently, that's a sign of insanity. If you want tomorrow to be different, then today has to start that difference right this moment. And the reality of fear only happens when you see fear is a blocking, something that's blocking you. If the tiger is in the bush, of course you don't go to the bush because who wants to be eaten by the tiger? But if you think the tiger is in the bush, you might buy binocular and you might see and look and not see the tiger, and then you can go to the bush. So every fear, it's a false evidence appears real. That's the acronym. Fear is an acronym for that. And if you have that fantasy that something might be happening, you're also capable of having another fantasy. But remember, we were talking about rising your Kundalini, letting your nervous system connect and intersect with all the organs, switching on the light here. And now, you can imagine a good reality. Why? Biologically, our brain contains the memory, and the whole body, not just the brain, whole body has the memories of all the terrible things that ever happened to you, to your grandparents, and to your predecessors millions of years ago. Because this is a survival mechanism, first chakra. But if you are rising your Kundalini at least to here, so you can speak and laugh and connect and open heart, then you are no longer in survival mode. You already have the skill to survive. You already have the communication skill. You already have the skill to do something better than others, so you get paid for it. So why create the story that takes away that power? You can create the story with the rising Kundalini going to your brain, activating your imagination, that will support you. What if I can do that? What if I can try that? What if I buy an instrument that I need to carve? My husband wants to carve the tables, live page tables. He's like, I need to buy the instruments, sure, and I need to buy the course, sure. You get the instruments to move through the idea, the project that you want to be doing. And for that, you already have all the faculties, but there are more chakras up here. So in objective reality, you need to include the vision, which is forward thinking, but also analytical skills, which is your past. And being in the present moment, have an idea of how you want your tomorrow to look like. And then you can safely move with this objectivity. You can safely move into place where things are already happening the right way, like Vasili likes to say, because right way is about governing objective reality.
Yeah.
In super objective reality, what's that about?
Yeah, I've been involved in personal development since 2009. And you know, guys, every training that I was attending, like they were talking about changing your mindset. Change your mindset, you can change your results, I can change your everything. But I tried. I tried different way. I raised my motivation, and I was like, "Ah, did I change my mind? Did I change my mind? No, no, no." And only like 6 years ago, yeah, I had this opportunity to get this knowledge. When you start working with your body on the right level, you can have this opportunity to change your mindset. And everything is happening on the governing objective reality, super objective reality, when you have a free Kundalini. This energy is free inside of your body. And at this time, you can build your reality right away because you don't have this kind of false ideas. You don't have the wrong fantasies, like illusions that we all have with our program of our mind. And also, it's related to our date of birth. And we, with Svetlana, we're professionals in this. We are professional in subject reality of anybody on the earth. And we're professional to help you guys to build this kind of bridge from your subjective reality to go as high as you want. Because when you work on your body, when you raise your energy, you have only correct ideas. You have this kind of ideas that can build you tomorrow. And that's why you really need to take time. Take your time, just analyze things that are around you right now, like as an objective reality. And of course, it's not always nice, fun, or you have a great results. It doesn't matter. And when you start working on your energies, when you really start understanding, tomorrow has a common sense. You don't afraid anymore about tomorrow, and you even don't look at your yesterdays, like in your previous life. And you stop blaming others because you really understand everything that's going on in your life, you're responsible. Because when you're responsible, you can change your actions and you can get better results. But if you blame somebody that you're responsible for my mistakes, there's no chance. You cannot improve your life, you cannot improve your results. And that's why when you come to our sessions, we sit together with you, Svetlana and I, and we're really looking at your situation. And we go deeply in details, your date of birth, your archetype, your name, everything is related and connected to your right situation right now.
Absolutely. And by the way, when you are in free Kundalini, how does it feel? You are never tired. Of course, when the time comes in the evening, your hormones are working in a way that you need to slow down and fall asleep. But you are not sluggish throughout the day. Ideas are coming. And as ideas are coming, you see the ways to implement them. If you don't see the ways to implement them, you can analyze that this idea might not be mine to do, or might not be for now, or might not be a good idea altogether. And you can leave it aside. You don't carry the luggage of unfinished projects and unfinished idea, which frees up your mind. Free Kundalini looks like if somebody suggests you something, and if it makes sense, you go for it. You don't tell them, I will think about it, and maybe tomorrow I'll give you. You do not have those runners, I call them, when you have something you want to do, but it never happens. The New Year Kundalini rises enough for you to have New Year resolution done. This is the 4th month. We're already in the second of the 2026. Everybody started with the solution, but the energy is not there to complete. For that, you actually have a calendar. We talk about calendar a lot because it is a way to notice your contribution. Spacing the energy for particular task could be done with understanding which energy is present for that day and how that energy can support you. So with the wisdom of yesterday and with the open eye for tomorrow, you still need the energy rising every day. So it's not something that you 10,000 steps yesterday and today you're full of energy. It has a much bigger picture because all your senses are helping you to receive the energy. So you need to feed all your senses, just like when you eat something, you need to feed all your taste. Because if you eat the same thing every day and it doesn't have much taste, you will eat much more. And the knowledge that we are sharing, for example, or any knowledge, allows your brain to open up so it can help you circulate the energy. And also, there are particular formulas. Everybody has a success in their own way. Everybody is happy in their own way. It's not the same for everybody. And sometimes people don't know what they make them happy. Sometimes people don't know what success means for me. Because for somebody, 30% is this, 30% could be this, and 30% could be this. We were just discussing energy of the computer before our broadcast, right? But in the computer, you can measure, you can see how big is the energy left in the battery of your phone, for example. But how do you measure that in your body? You measure it with your state. There is a state that matches the energy. It's the state of being in love with life. I am alive, and that is enough. Yes, I can make money, and I can have partner, and I can have whatever I can have. But this is the first acknowledgement from yesterday. I've survived yesterday, the day before, and I've arrived here, and that's where I've arrived. I have the full battery. And if my battery is half full or quarter full or nothing left, forget about plans and goals. The goals do not match your potential. And again, we have the date of birth, so we can look where the battery is running low because you're struggling, because you don't have that competency and you need to acquire it. But even with acquired competency, you don't have to run on that competency because maybe it's not yours to run on. And maybe in some other area, you are great and you run on that competency, and then it gives you energy. You know how the homework was done back in the day when I was a school. First, do the hardest part. You sit there for 3 hours and you cannot resolve it. You hate yourself, you hate the homework, you hate your school and the teacher and the parents who are not there to help. But if you start with something easy and you've done it, you go, I can do it. And then you can do something else easy and you go, wow, I can do it. And the skill is building. And at some point, it's like your Kundalini. It's rising, and it hits you. And you go, wow, I've done it. I know how to do this. This is the acquirement of the knowledge. And the successful formula is like that. We give you the formula, but you need to start stepping one step at a time to integrate this formula in your day. And then you have the mastery of your emotions. Because now you know, I can do things. I can move from point A to point B without losing the focus in objective reality, without falling into subjective reality, where I look back and I forget all that I have, and I only remember how horrible it will be. It's remembering the future from the past. I remember terrible and I remember horrible, and all I see is nothingness.
Yeah, and if I can summarize with one sentence, yeah, what's a advantage to raise your energy? If you don't raise your energy, you can still be in a dormant Kundalini level. You're gonna live through emotions and through the crisis. There is no way. But when you start raising your energy, you start living through developing and working on your 5 sensory organs. You can see, feel this world in a different way. And if you keep going to raise your energy, you can develop your competence and be like master. You can create mastery. You can become as a master over your emotions. Because most of the time, when we act through our emotions, we do a lot of wrong things. And when we did something wrong, it's very energy consuming to solve this problem. And that's why we're talking about to live with understanding who you are, how you can use the competence through the days, like not to wait until the next year to, okay, I'm gonna dream when it comes, then I'm gonna start living. No, you can start living right away. As we were talking with Svetlana, raising your energy, you can have this kind of opportunity to see what's going on the same height as your eyes are, but you can see much, much, much better.
Yeah, you will feel it if you went to the optometrist and they give you the magical eyeglasses. So if you look at the picture, the 7 main chakras, you can see a big illumination in this area. The truth of the matter is, this is not just the area where you illuminate the world. You illuminate the world from every energetic center of your body, because some people are scared to survive, and if you master that part, you give them support, and you illuminate their life, and you show that survival path is available. Somebody does not know how to reproduce. That happens as well. I have clients that not conceive a child or cannot bring it to term, and now they have children. Why? Because I'm good at it. Reproduction is not a problem for Kundalini energy in this area. And then the center, the solar plexus, some people are lost. They don't know their way. They don't know what their soul desire. And they create goals from here, which is great, but it's not, you need constant motivation and inspiration if it comes from here. If it comes from your soul desire, what your soul desires, you can actually look through the date of birth. I can calculate for you what is your calling before you understand your calling, and what are you called for to do, and what your soul desires, because those are all different things. And where is your money is a different thing, and what do you want to do with the money is a different thing, all in the date of birth. And when you talk about illuminating from the heart, this is the biggest illumination point, because heart field is huge. It can radiate 50 miles away. And there was study done in which it was shown that one person with this vibrational quality of kindness, let's say, can affect about 10,000 people or 5,000 people. I don't remember exactly, but the idea was that with each raise of the energy, the quality of the energy in hertz can affect more and more people. So one person with the highest vibration, 500, which is unconditional love, can affect 50,000 people. And imagine that you are that kind of person. Who's going to come into your immediate field? So as we are talking, we are bringing authority into the world. We become authors of our life. We become leaders. We become strategists. That's where you can illuminate other people's strategy. When you see, when you have a vision, third eye, some people are talking about, but actually it's a trinity, you know, left, right, and the center. So from this trinity, from understanding from the body and mind and the spirit, you can also illuminate for somebody else the vision. And all of a sudden, people start having idea in your presence. So every center and connection to the universe, once you have the universal law, people come to you with the understanding that you will never screw them up because you are aligned with the universal law. And everything that happens in your body, in your energetic field, affects the world around us. So instead of going, oh my God, how terrible it was, how terrible it will be, life is terrible, the AI is taking over and the wars are everywhere, you can go right there, stop the war and stop the worry, and become the peaceful warrior from which the peace emanates and creates the world that you want to see around yourself. It starts from within. That growth and power.
Yes, and always we're open to get a question from your part and come to the private sessions, ask questions, and we'll be glad to answer all of them. I will repeat, all of them.
Once you know what's up, you know what's up. The rest of it is just amazing. So we're happy to see you all, my dear friends, on our live broadcast. I'm sending you love. It's so good to see you. And we'll see you soon on Thursday on the next broadcast. And we'll see you then.
Yes. Stay tuned.